All right, let's get right into it. If you have a generator hooked up to your solar system, you need to listen closely. Because if it's done the wrong way, it's not just a little inefficient, it can be silently, methodically destroying your expensive batteries. It's a massive safety gap that so many people miss until it's way too late.
And that's the real kicker, isn't it? This isn't some slow leak you can spot from a mile away. No, this is a hidden conflict, an invisible war happening inside your wiring. It causes damage that builds up over time and then, boom, sudden catastrophic failure, seemingly out of nowhere.
I'm sure you've seen the videos. Someone pulls out a clean wiring diagram, plugs a few things in, and magically, it all seems to work just fine. But what they almost never talk about is the invisible electrical battle that might be tearing your battery bank apart from the inside out. So let's talk about that connection. The advice you usually hear is, oh, just plug your generator into the inverter's AC input. And, on the surface, that makes sense. Power goes in, batteries get charged, simple as that. But that simplicity, it's really deceptive. Yeah, those clean diagrams, they don't show what's actually going on at an electrical level. They completely miss the hidden failure physics, the real-world clash that happens when you bring a powerful, uncontrolled charging source into a system that's already being managed by your solar array. So what is this hidden conflict I keep mentioning? Well, it all boils down to a really simple problem. You have two different chargers trying to fill up one battery at the exact same time. And crucially, they aren't talking to each other. Let's just trace the power flow here for a second. You've got the solar panels, right? They're feeding the battery through your solar charge controller. That's path number one. At the same time, your generator is pushing power through your inverter's built-in charger. That's path number two. See how they both end up at the exact same place, the battery terminals? That's where the trouble begins. And this right here, this is the most critical point. The currents from your solar and your generator don't take turns. They don't alternate. They combine. They stack. The total current hammering your battery is the solar current plus the generator current. We actually have a name for this: charge source conflict. It's just the technical term for this uncontrolled, combined assault on your battery. And it is the root cause of pretty much all the damage we're about to look at. Okay, so now that we understand the why, the two chargers fighting, let's look at the what. What actually happens to your expensive batteries when they get put under this kind of electrical stress? It's not pretty. You see, every single battery has a maximum speed limit for charging, a safe current. The moment that combined current from your solar and your generator blows past that limit, a countdown starts. Heat starts building up, the voltage spikes way too fast, and the delicate chemistry inside your battery begins to literally break down. And what's wild is how different batteries react to this abuse. A modern lithium battery, with its Smart Battery Management System, or BMS, might just throw its hands up and shut everything down instantly to protect itself. Your whole system just crashes. But with older lead-acid batteries, it's a much slower, more painful death. It's a thermal runaway, where excess heat and gassing literally cook the battery from the inside out, permanently destroying it. So, a fried battery is bad enough. But believe it or not, that is not the most destructive thing that can happen here. Not even close. There's a common wiring mistake that is so much worse. One that doesn't just kill your battery, it can destroy your inverter and create a serious fire hazard. The single most dangerous, costly mistake you can possibly make when hooking up a generator is something called backfeeding. This is the one that gives technicians nightmares, because the results are always devastating. So what is it? Simply put, it's when you accidentally plug your generator into the inverter's AC output. The sockets that are meant to give power to your lights and appliances. You're trying to force electricity backward up a one-way street. It just doesn't work that way. And the results are immediate. We're talking catastrophic. You can instantly fry the inverter's sensitive brain, melt the internal relay that's supposed to protect it, and yup, you can kiss that equipment warranty goodbye. In the worst cases, this creates an insane amount of heat and a very, very real fire risk. Okay, enough of the doom and gloom. I promise there's a light at the end of the tunnel. There is a correct and, more importantly, a safe way to do this. If you follow these 5 steps, you can protect your gear and make sure your whole system works exactly like it's supposed to. Let's just walk through this 5-step safety plan. Step 1, and this is the big one, always connect your generator to the designated AC input. Double check it, triple check it. Step 2, dive into your inverter settings and manually set a limit on how much power it can pull from the generator. Step 3, you have to think about the total current. Remember that formula, solar plus generator?
Do the math and make sure that total never goes over your battery's limit. Step 4, install a transfer switch. This is a physical device that makes it basically impossible to backfeed by accident. And finally, step 5, make sure your grounding is correct. This is especially important with portable generators, and it prevents all sorts of nasty electrical faults.
At the end of the day, you've just got to remember this. Electricity doesn't negotiate. It doesn't care what you meant to do. It will follow the physical path you create with your wiring every single time, without question. The responsibility for designing a safe path is 100% on you.
So this leaves us with one last, really important question. A generator can be an amazing backup, a lifesaver even, but only if you integrate it the right way. So take a hard look at your own setup. Is it truly designed for safety? Or have you accidentally built a path for a silent and very expensive failure?